This is Chris Videos. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. It'll be down there in the description box. And I am here to do my WWE Friday Night SmackDown December 30th, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about Friday Night SmackDown. Now, this is the last SmackDown of 2022. And yeah, let's go ahead and start breaking it down. So we start off with the first segment of the night. It was Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt makes his way down to the ring, and he starts talking about how he is Bray Wyatt. He still can't believe it. He's still showing his feelings to the fans and all that stuff. Stuff like that. But then he starts talking about how he wants to apologize to that cameraman from last week that he attacked. He said, he didn't have nothing to do with what's been going on and all that. So he wants to say sorry about what he did last week. But then while he was talking about the cameraman, Bray Wyatt gets interrupted by LA Knight. LA Knight comes down. He goes like, look, what you did to the cameraman was terrible, but I don't care, okay? I want to get down to business and talk about me and you, because even though that Uncle Howdy guy came out a few weeks ago showing that it's not you still got something to do with all this. So he gets in the ring with Bray Wyatt. He gets face to face with Bray Wyatt, and pretty much he starts challenging Bray Wyatt into a match at the Royal Rumble. Bray Wyatt pretty much accepts. He accepts the challenge at the Royal Rumble. He calls LA Knight an idiot and all that stuff. Tell him he don't got nothing to do with what's been going on, like he's always been telling him and all that stuff. And yeah, that's what Bray Wyatt was saying. But then all of a sudden they get interrupted by Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy walks all the way down to the ring. He gets in the ring. He gets in between LA Knight and Bray Wyatt. He looks at Bray Wyatt, staring him down like he's going to do something. But then he steps right beside Bray Wyatt. Looks like he's on Bray Wyatt's side. And looks like they're about to attack LA Knight up until Uncle Howdy hits Sister Abigail onto Bray Wyatt, laying him out. So yeah, Uncle Howdy attacked Bray Wyatt tonight on SmackDown, laying him out with Sister Abigail. LA Knight got out the ring. He goes like, what's going on and all that stuff. And Uncle Howdy leaves out the ring. So yeah, that's what happened. Uncle Howdy attacks and lays out Bray Wyatt tonight on SmackDown. That's what happened. Yeah, it was a pretty good segment. So yeah, at the Royal Rumble, it looks like it's going to be a one-on-one match between Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. Now, this is going to be Bray Wyatt's maybe first televised match. Now, he already had his first match against Jinder Mahal, and if you guys noticed, he already suffered an injury with a broken finger. If you can see it, where it's like taped up when he was holding the mic and stuff. So yeah, he's injured right now, but a broken finger, he shouldn't be out that long, So yeah. First televised match, it looks like it'll be up against LA Knight at the Royal Rumble. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then we get to another segment where we see Sami Zayn walking backstage, and he goes up to Roman Reigns' locker room. He knocks on the door. Paul Heyman comes out, and he says, "What do you want, Sami?" And Sami was like, "I want to talk some strategy with Roman and all that stuff about the tag team match." And Paul Heyman starts talking to him, talking about how Roman has been happy about Sami Zayn's loyalty to the bloodline and all that stuff, and he don't want to talk right now or whatever, but he's happy about what Sami Zayn said about Kevin Owens and John Cena last week on SmackDown and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Paul Heyman was saying. Then he looks at Sami Zayn, he goes like, "I was just messing around. You can go in the locker room and talk strategy with Roman for tonight's match." And Sami Zayn walks in the locker room. So yeah, later on tonight in the main event, it will be Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns versus John Cena and Kevin Owens in a tag team match in the main event for tonight's Friday Night SmackDown. And not only that, later on tonight, we will see Ronda Rousey defending the SmackDown Women's Championship up against Raquel Rodriguez, one-on-one later on tonight for the title. But up next, it will be the first match of the night. It will be Sheamus versus Solo Sikoa, one-on-one up next on SmackDown. So yeah, that match will be happening up next. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a one-on-one match. It was Sheamus with Ridge Holland, Butch, the Brawling Brutes versus Solo Sikoa with the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay the Usos, the Bloodline at ringside. So yeah, Sheamus versus Solo Sikoa 1-on-1, and it was a pretty good match. The first match that happened on SmackDown for tonight. It was going back and forth. Solo was dominating the first half of the match. Sheamus starts coming back at the middle to ending of the match and stuff, going at it with Solo. But then we get to the ending where it looked like Sheamus was setting up for the bro kick onto Solo. And when Sheamus runs to him to hit the bro kick, Solo hits the super kick onto him. Didn't really get all of it, but he still hit the super kick onto Sheamus. Sheamus stumbles backwards into the ropes, and then comes back with a knee to the face onto Solo. Pins him 1-2, Solo barely kicking out at 2. Sheamus going at it with Solo a little bit longer, hitting Irish Curse backbreaker onto him. And then he locks on the Texas Cloverleaf onto Solo. Jay Uso was trying to push the ropes to help out Solo, but then the referee catches on to Jay, and he's talking to Jay, and while the referee's distracted because of Jay Uso, Jimmy grabs Solo's arm and drags him to the ropes pretty much, and Sheamus lets go the Texas Cloverleaf. So yeah, Solo didn't tap out. He got dragged to the ropes by Jimmy. Then we see Butch come up, about to attack Jay, but then Jay got pushed out the way by Jimmy. Jimmy hits a super kick onto Butch, and then Ridge Holland starts going at it with Jimmy, and then Ridge Holland gets hit with a double super kick outside the ring as well, getting laid out. And then after that, we see Sheamus jump off the top turnbuckle onto the Usos, taking them out. Solo grabs Sheamus by the arm pretty much and runs him into the ring post, and then he hits a Uranagi slam onto him onto the ring apron, gets back into the ring, hits a Samoan spike onto Sheamus, pins him 1, 2, 3, all over there. Solo Sikoa defeated Sheamus tonight in a one-on-one match, but then after the match ended, the Usos get into the ring, starts attacking Sheamus, beating him down and stuff. Butch gets on the apron, he gets hit with a super kick. Ridge Holland gets on the apron, he gets hit with a double super kick as well. Both of them got taken out, and then Sheamus got set up to the turnbuckle, sitting down and stuff. Solo gets out the ring, grabs a steel chair, gets into the ring, puts a steel chair around his head, about to take him out like how he did to Matt Riddle. But then all of a sudden Drew McIntyre makes his return back to SmackDown. First time that we've seen him since Survivor Series. He comes walking down the ramp. Jay Uso gets out the ring. He gets hit with a big boot by Drew. Drew gets on the apron. Jimmy runs up to him, but then he gets hit with the headbutt, getting laid out. And then Drew gets in the ring, going at it with Solo, and then he clotheslines Solo over the top rope, taking him out. Drew turns around. Jimmy was trying to hit him with a super kick. Drew ducks, runs to the ropes, comes back with a Claymore onto Jimmy, laying him out. So yeah, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus and all them standing tall tonight. Solo Sikoa won the match. For that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good match, and what happened after the match was pretty good. So yeah, pretty good stuff. But yep, that's what happened there for the first match of the night. Later on tonight, we still got Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn versus John Cena and Kevin Owens in the tag team match in the main event. And not only that, up next we're going to be seeing Ronda Rousey defending the SmackDown Women's Championship up against Raquel Rodriguez 1-on-1 up next for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So yeah, that match will be happening up next. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So, the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a one-on-one match. It was the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Ronda Rousey with Shayna Baszler at ringside versus Raquel Rodriguez 1-on-1 for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So, yeah, let's get to the match now. There's something big that happens after the match, but I'll get to that soon. So, just to leave that there. But yeah, Ronda Rousey actually came out with like almost 0 pop or anything. Like, the crowd don't really care for Ronda. But yeah, we get to the match, and this is probably Ronda's like one of her best matches since returning back since the Royal Rumble earlier this year. I'll probably say her best match yet was probably against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania Backlash in that I Quit match, maybe. But yeah, this is one of her best matches in her second run, at least I can kind of somewhat say a little bit, even though, like, we'll talk about it. So yeah, Ronda's going after Raquel's arm majority of the time, during this match, and this match lasted for a good minute. Like, it was going down and all that stuff. Raquel doing a lot of stuff, trying to hit the Tejada bomb at one point during this match, but then Ronda was up there, had her arm, and they go over the top rope, and Ronda was trying to keep that arm bar locked on until Raquel picks her up and power bombs her on the ring apron, breaking it up. And then we continue on with the match. It's going back and forth and everything. We get to the ending pretty much where we see Raquel finally getting up a little bit, hitting a big boot onto Ronda, and then she hits that corkscrew elbow drop onto Ronda Rousey in the corner, pins her, but Ronda's hands underneath the rope, so she got to move her hands so the referee can count the pin. Referee starts counting 1, 2. Shayna grabs Ronda's foot and puts up on the ropes, but Ronda's shoulder was pretty much a botch spot right there, kind of, because Ronda's shoulder popped right up, like right at 1, because she starts leaning up as soon as Shayna got over there, so that's what happened there. And then, Raquel's beating down Ronda, has her set up on the top turnbuckle, lifts her up like she's about to hit like a Samoan drop or something onto Ronda off the top turnbuckle, but then Ronda is up there with the armbar locking it on, like, while she's on her shoulders and stuff, and then they go crashing down to the mat, and Ronda Rousey not letting go, and makes Raquel tap out. So yeah, Ronda Rousey defeated Raquel Rodriguez tonight on SmackDown to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's what happened. I'll give that match 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, something big happens after the match, which I will be talking about. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, right after that match with Ronda Rousey and Raquel Rodriguez, we have Ronda Rousey grabbing the mic, and she was about to start speaking up until she gets interrupted by the returning of Charlotte Flair. Charlotte comes out. The first part, it's a new theme song she came out to. We get the first part where you hear the woo and, it's playing a little bit and then changes up and stuff. So yeah, she got some new theme song and like new ring gear and stuff. So yeah, she makes a return for tonight's Friday Night SmackDown. She comes into the ring and Ronda was like, "Oh, let me guess, your arm is healed up. How was the rehab?" She goes like, "You know what? I don't want to hear about it. I know what you out here for. You want a match against me. And you know what? We can do it at the next pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble." And Charlotte grabs the mic and she goes like, "Actually, I don't feel like waiting until the Royal Rumble. I want a match against you tonight for the SmackDown Women's Championship." And Ronda starts accepting it, going like, "You know what? I'm feeling good right now. So yeah, I would go for I'll do the match right now." And Shayna Baszler's trying to talk Ronda out of it, but Ronda ain't listening to her. So yeah, we'll get the match underway. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair 1-on-1 for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Shayna Baszler's at ringside. As soon as the match starts, Charlotte hits a big boot onto Ronda, pins her 1, 2, Ronda barely kicking out at 2, and then Shayna gets on the apron. She gets hit with a big boot, getting knocked off the apron, and then Charlotte was trying to hit the spear onto Ronda. Ronda reverses it by rolling her over, locking on that armbar, but as soon as she starts trying to lock on the armbar, Charlotte gets up, rolling her up for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Charlotte Flair defeated Ronda Rousey tonight and has become the new SmackDown Women's Champion. That's what happened there for that match. I'll give it 1.5 stars. So yeah, that's why I'll give it. Charlotte Flair returning tonight on SmackDown and becoming the new SmackDown Women's Champion. I don't know how many times that is now, so I gotta go back and look. So yeah. But then after that match, we see a segment backstage where we see Roman Reigns and the rest of the bloodline, Sami Zayn, the Usos, and all them is back there. And Sami Zayn was talking to Roman, talking about the strategy. But then he starts talking about, it didn't bother you that the crowd was chanting my name last week or anything, was it? And Roman's looking in the distance and you see the Usos, like Jimmy, putting his head down ah, crap. And then Paul Heyman's like, "Wow, would you say that?" Pretty much in the background, you can see him talking, but not. You can't hear him or nothing. I'm what the hell, pretty much. And Roman's like, "No, it didn't bother me." After he down looked in the distance for a little bit, he goes it didn't bother me. He goes "You know what? Tonight's going to be an easy night. It'll be me resting up or whatever. But we'll still pick up the win. It'll be a great night." Sammy was like, "Yeah, it'll be a great night," and all that stuff. So yeah. And then we see Roman Reigns kind of making that face right at the end when SmackDown was going on the commercial break. So yeah, that's what happened there. Main event: John Cena and Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn tonight in a tag team match. So yeah, see you guys later until the next thing that happens on SmackDown. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, before I talk about the next segment, there was a thing that they showed, which they have the match official now: Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight at the Royal Rumble in a pitch black match. So this match is like promoted by Mountain Dew Pitch Black. So yeah, it's a pitch black match. Now, don't get me asking, what is this going to be? It's going to be like a cinematic match. I don't know, or if it's going to be like one of those like lights out matches where it's like dark and they just wrestle or something. I don't know, but we're going to be figuring that out at the Rumble. So yeah, that match is now made official. But then we see the Intercontinental Champion Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci Imperium inside the ring. And yeah, Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci talking about how great the Intercontinental Champion Gunther is, the ring general, and they showed a video package of all the people that Gunther defeated and retained his Intercontinental Championship against, and it showed like him defeating Shinsuke Nakamura, Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, and Ricochet, and all them. But then, all of a sudden, as soon as that video package gets done playing, Braun Strowman comes out, and he goes like, there's one thing about your video package that you show. And it showed that I'm not on there. Now, you never defeated me. Now, let's get this right. You're better than every single man on the roster, pretty much. You dominate men and stuff, but you cannot dominate monsters, and I won a match against you for the IC title. But then Imperium starts attacking Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman's beating them all down, throwing Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci out the ring and stuff. Gunther was trying to hit a chop onto Strowman, but Strowman knocks him down and knocks him out the ring. And then Strowman starts doing the Strowman Express, laying out Kaiser and Vinci outside the ring. And then he runs, trying to hit like the shoulder block onto Gunther, but Gunther moves out the way, pushing Braun Strowman through the barricade, and then he starts going after his arm and stuff, beating him down. Imperium's beating him down. Gunther got him into the middle of the ring, locking on the armbar and stuff, damaging the arm, up until a bunch of referees and officials and stuff tries to run down and try and break him up, but they can't get him broken up, and Imperium's making sure that they stay out the ring and all that stuff. But then Ricochet comes running down with the steel chair, knocks Ludwig Kaiser down, and then he gets into the ring. At one point, he swung the chair because Gunther got out the ring, and then, some wrestlers, swings the chair, and, they'll miss eventually, and then, hit the apron or whatever. Nah, Ricochet didn't miss, and he actually hit Gunther in the back of the head, it looks like. So, yeah, Gunther pretty much got laid out after getting hit in the back of the head with the chair. Same thing happened to Ricochet pretty much on that taped episode of SmackDown last week. It happened to Gunther. So, yeah, a bunch of referees and stuff checking on Gunther from that. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he didn't get no concussion or nothing. I really hope so. But, yeah, they need to start being a little bit careful. Last week it was Ricochet. This week's Gunther getting smacked in the back of the head with chairs. So, yeah, they need to chill out from that. But, yep, Ricochet saved Braun Strowman. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, they actually did have a segment before this when we see Hit Row walking backstage, and they walk into the locker room with the New Day playing Limbo or whatever, and then there was like, oh, Top Dollar, can you jump over and all that stuff, and pretty much, we see Hit Row getting irritated a little bit. Definitely Top Dollar getting irritated. We see the Maximum Male Models laughing and stuff, and then Ricochet talking about, oh, next time you shouldn't be jumping over stuff and all that. And then Top Dollar pushes them, and it looks like maybe we'll be seeing a heel turn from Hit Row. So yeah, that's what it looks like. But it looks like they got the matches scheduled for SmackDown. So yeah, in 2 weeks we'll be seeing Gunther defending the Intercontinental Championship up against Braun Strowman in 2 weeks on SmackDown for the IC title, and it looks like next week we're going to be getting that match with the Usos versus Drew McIntyre and Sheamus for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. That match will be happening next week on SmackDown. It was supposed to happen a few weeks ago, but obviously didn't happen because McIntyre was injured. And knowing that, they got Ricochet versus Top Dollar in a Royal Rumble qualifying match next week. So yeah, we haven't seen one of those qualifying matches for the Royal Rumble. So yeah, that's supposed to happen as well. But then, after all that stuff, we see Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn walking backstage, about to head towards the ring. So yeah, up next will be the main event. Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens and John Cena in the tag team match up next in the main event of SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a main event. It was the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn with the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions Jimmy and Jay the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman, the Bloodline at ringside, versus John Cena and Kevin Owens in a tag team match in the main event for tonight's Friday Night SmackDown. Now, we kick off the match with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at first. They're going at it, and yeah, Sami's just getting beat down by Kevin Owens, and then Roman's like throws out his hand wanting to tag because he's like getting disappointed at this point, and Kevin Owens looks at Sami Zayn and he goes like, "Look, you're disappointing your tribal chief," and then Sami gets pissed off. He tags in Roman and Kevin's going at it for like a little bit and stuff. And Cena was trying to get tagged in a few times, and then he gets knocked off the apron. So yeah, he wasn't getting tagged in this match for a majority of the time. But then we get to the ending. At one point, we see Owens hit the pop-up powerbomb onto Sami, pins him 1-2. Roman breaks at the pin at the count of 2. He beats down Kevin Owens, and he drags Sami to the ropes so he could get tagged in. Roman gets tagged in. He gets into the ring, try to hit the Superman punch onto Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens hits him with a super kick, and then Owens climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with a frog splash onto him. 1-2. Roman barely kicking out at 2. Kevin Owens then picks up Roman, throws him to the ropes, throws him up in the air for the pop-up powerbomb, but then Roman Reigns comes down with a Superman punch onto Kevin, and then he was setting up for the spear. He runs to him to hit the spear, but Kevin moves out the way, and Roman hits a shoulder onto the ring post and stuff getting laid out. And then that's when we see Kevin Owens tagging in John Cena, Roman Reigns tagging in Sami Zayn. Zayn gets into the ring. Cena starts doing his 5 moves of doom pretty much, hitting the shoulder blocks onto Sami, lays him out, setting up for the 5-knuckle shuffle, and then he does a "you can't see me" to Roman. Roman gets pissed off. He gets into the ring, try to hit the Superman punch on Cena. Cena ducks, lifts him up, slams him, and then he gets Owens into the ring, and they both hit a double 5-knuckle shuffle onto Roman and Sami, laying them out, and then Cena hits the attitude adjustment onto Roman, taking him out for the rest of the match. Sami gets up, and he gets hit with a stunner by Kevin Owens, and gets pinned for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, John Cena and Kevin Owens defeated Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. That's what happened. Yeah, Cena was not featured much in this match. Probably a lot of people was disappointed. I knew some of my friends was and all that stuff. So yeah, but other than that, I'll give this match 3 stars. That's why I'll give it. Wasn't anything really too special, but hey, Cena finally had a match after a year and a half. And Roman finally had a match on SmackDown since, like, what, June? So, everything's all good, I guess. This can be match of the night. But for tonight's Friday Night SmackDown, I'll give it 8 stars. That's what I'll give it. We had Cena returning match. Drew McIntyre returned. Charlotte Flair returned and became SmackDown Women's Champion. The Bray Wyatt LA Knight thing going on. All that stuff. So yeah, like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks, and I'll be down there in the description box, and I'll see you guys later for this Monday's Monday Night Raw reviews. See you guys later. Until then.